A Nonna never bought a can of degreaser in her life. She cut the worst kitchen grease with a scoop of cheap borax. Today, 25 borax kitchen tricks that replace every degreaser you own, including the one that strips caked grease off a range hood filter, and a number one that brings the greasiest oven in the house back to spotless. Let's get into it. Number 25. Wipe thick, baked-on grease off the stovetop in a single swipe. You know the stuff. Those sticky brown rings baked hard around the burners, splatter that has sat so long it has turned to varnish and laughs at an ordinary cloth. A Nonna stirred a little borax with a few drops of warm water into a thick paste, spread it right over the worst of it, and left it to sit for 15 minutes while she cleared the table. Borax is alkaline, and alkaline is exactly what loosens baked-on grease, so the paste did the scrubbing for her. When she came back, one gentle swipe lifted the whole sticky mess onto the cloth and left the metal bare and gleaming. Then a wipe with clean water, since this is a cleaner and not something to cook on. And the next one is stacked in the sink, the greasy pans. Number 24. Cut the greasy film off pans and pots in a warm soak. Some pans come out of a wash still faintly greasy to the touch, with a dull, tacky film that plain dish soap only pushes around. A Nonna filled the sink with hot water, stirred in a good couple of tablespoons of borax until it dissolved, and slid the greasy pans in to soak for 20 minutes or so. The alkaline water goes to work on the grease all on its own, loosening it from every curve and corner a sponge can never reach. When she lifted them out, the film wiped away with no effort, and a rinse under clean water left them squeaky. Never a trace of borax on something you cook in. Far gentler than scouring the pan raw. And the next one bakes on even harder, the sheet pans. Number 23. Lift the baked-on grease off your sheet pans. A baking tray builds up a brown, sticky, varnished layer of old grease and oil that ordinary washing will never shift, until the whole thing looks burnt and beyond saving. A Nonna made a thick paste of borax and a little warm water, spread it over the worst of the staining, and left it to sit for half an hour. The borax works two ways at once. The alkaline breaks the grease down, and the fine powder gives just enough grit to scrub the softened gunk loose without gouging the metal. A scrub with a damp cloth, a rinse with clean water, and the pan comes back far closer to new than you would believe. And the next one is the wall the grease flies onto, the splashback behind the stove. Number 22. Clear the grease spatter off the wall behind the stove. Every time you fry, a fine mist of grease lands on the wall and tiles behind the cooker, and over the months it builds into a sticky, yellowing film that catches every speck of dust. A Nonna kept a spray bottle of borax solution for it, a couple of tablespoons dissolved in a pint of hot water, and misted the whole splashback, let it sit a minute, then wiped it down. The alkaline cuts straight through the greasy film and takes the trapped grime with it, leaving the wall clean and matte instead of tacky. Subscribe, and let's bring back the old ways of keeping a kitchen clean for pennies. And the next one is right above your head, the cupboard doors. Number 21. Cut the sticky grease film off the cupboard doors. The cabinet doors right above and beside the stove get the worst of it. A thin, sticky layer of airborne grease that turns golden and gummy and clings to your fingers every time you open them. A Nonna dampened a cloth in warm borax solution, a tablespoon or two in a bowl of hot water, and wiped the doors down, top to bottom. The alkaline melts that greasy film away without stripping the finish or paint, where a dry cloth only smears it around. Go over them with a clean, damp cloth after, and the doors feel clean instead of tacky, the paint bright again. And the next one is the very heart of the kitchen, the sink itself. Number 20. Bring a greasy, dull kitchen sink back to a shine. The sink takes every greasy plate and pan, and slowly it goes gray and filmy, ringed with grime around the drain that no amount of rinsing shifts. Nonna sprinkled borax straight onto a damp cloth and scrubbed the whole basin with it, then rinsed it away with hot water. The powder is a gentle abrasive, so it polishes the grease and grime off without scratching the steel or enamel, and it deodorizes the drain as it works. Because the sink holds the food you rinse and the plates you eat from, she flushed it well with clean water afterward, leaving nothing behind. 2 minutes, and the whole sink looks like the day it was fitted. And the next one goes down out of sight, the drain. Number 19. Freshen a greasy, smelly kitchen drain. A kitchen drain builds a greasy film inside the pipe that both slows the water and sends a sour, stale smell up into the whole room. Nonna poured half a cup of borax straight down the plug hole, then followed it slowly with a full kettle of boiling water. The borax scours and deodorizes the inside of the pipe as it goes, while the boiling water melts and flushes the loosened grease on through. It neutralizes the smell at its source instead of covering it, and leaves the drain running quick and sweet. Do it weekly and it never gets the chance to build up, with none of the harsh, fuming drain cleaners near your food. And the next one is the smell you can never quite place, the bin. Number 18. Degrease and deodorize the kitchen bin. The rubbish bin can make the whole kitchen smell even after the bag is changed, because a greasy, sticky residue builds up on the bottom and the lid and holds the odor. Nonna took the empty bin outside, sprinkled borax over a wet brush, and scrubbed the inside all over, then rinsed it out and let it dry in the sun. The borax cuts through the greasy film and neutralizes the smell at the same time, rather than perfuming over the top of it, and as it dries it leaves a light trace that keeps mold and odor from settling back in. The room stops smelling of the bin at last. And the next one is the trick you clicked this video to see, the one on the thumbnail. Number 17. Melt the caked grease out of a range hood filter. This is the one on the thumbnail. It is the most satisfying one of them all. That metal mesh filter in the extractor hood above your cooker traps the grease from every meal until it turns into a solid, black, sticky crust you can barely see the light through, and most people never clean it once. Nonna filled the sink with very hot water, stirred in half a cup of borax, and lowered the filthy filter in to soak for 20 or 30 minutes. The alkaline water dissolves the caked grease right out of the mesh. No scrubbing, no fumes, no $10 can of degreaser. She lifted it out, gave it a light brush and a rinse under clean water, and the filter came back silver and open, like new, the grease simply gone. That transformation is exactly why one cheap box of powder really does replace a whole shelf of sprays. And the next one is the hood the filter sits in. Number 16. Wipe down the greasy hood, knobs and handles. The body of the extractor hood, the cooker knobs, the oven handle, every part your greasy hands touch while you cook wears a sticky, grimy film that ordinary wiping just moves around. Nonna went over all of it with a cloth wrung out in warm borax solution, and the alkaline lifted the finger grease and grime away in one pass, leaving the metal clean and the knobs no longer tacky to turn. And here is the honest truth about Nonna's kitchen. She never owned a shelf of expensive sprays, just one cheap box of powder and the knowledge of where to use it. Every one of these borax recipes, every exact measure, and the rest of her waste-nothing kitchen and home, it is all written down in Nonna's Handbook, and the link is in the description below. Now, number 15, the 2-minute microwave clean. Number 15. Clean the microwave with steam and no scrubbing. Baked-on splatters inside the microwave are one of the most miserable things to scrub by hand, welded to the roof and the walls. Nonna let the steam do the work. A bowl of water with a spoonful of borax. Run on high for 3 minutes until it boiled and fogged the door. The steam softens every stuck-on splatter while the borax cuts the grease and kills the smell. Then she wiped it out with a cloth, and it came away with no effort, followed by a wipe of clean water, since it holds your food. 2 minutes, and no chemical spray anywhere near where you warm your dinner. And the next one is underfoot and between the tiles, the grout. Number 14. Scrub the greasy grime out of tile grout. The lines of grout between kitchen tiles go dark and grubby with grease and dirt, and most people reach for vinegar or another acid, which quietly eats the grout away and lets water in behind the tiles. Nonna used a borax paste and a stiff old brush instead, because borax is a gentle abrasive and a base, not an acid. It scrubs the grout clean without dissolving it. She spread the paste along the lines, scrubbed and rinsed, and the grout came back its proper pale color. New to these forgotten tricks? Subscribe, there is a whole kitchen of them still coming, and the next one is the shine on the tiles themselves. Number 13. Bring the shine back to greasy wall and floor tile. The glazed face of kitchen tiles slowly hazes over with a greasy, filmy dullness from cooking, so they never look properly clean, however much you wipe. Nonna went over them with a cloth dipped in warm borax solution, a couple of tablespoons in a basin of hot water, and the alkaline cut straight through the greasy haze. It lifts the greasy film away rather than smearing it thinner, so a single pass leaves the tiles clean instead of just wet. She wiped them down, rinsed with clean water, and buffed them dry, and the glaze came back with the bright, wet shine it had when it was new. And the next one is the floor you stand on to cook, greasy footprints and all. Number 12. Mop a greasy kitchen floor clean and streak-free. The kitchen floor catches a fine, invisible layer of cooking grease that turns to a sticky film underfoot and grabs at every speck of dust and dirt. Nonna added a couple of tablespoons of borax to a bucket of hot water and mopped the floor with it, no other cleaner needed. The alkaline cuts the grease and leaves the room smelling fresh, and because it rinses clean, it dries without the sticky residue that makes dust cling back down. On sealed tile, vinyl or linoleum, it is the cheapest floor cleaner there is. A pass with clean water if it was very greasy, and it comes up bright. And the next one is cold and full of grease, the fridge. Number 11. Clean and deodorize the whole fridge. Spills, drips, and forgotten food leave the inside of a fridge sticky, greasy, and smelling stale, creeping into the butter and the milk. Nonna wiped every shelf and wall down with a cloth dipped in a mild borax solution, a tablespoon in a bowl of warm water. It cuts the grease and the sticky marks and neutralizes the smell rather than masking it, so the fridge comes out smelling of nothing at all. Because everything in there is food, she went over it again with a clean water cloth, leaving nothing behind, then dried it. No harsh chemical spray anywhere near what your family eats. And the next one is the grimy rack it all drains on, the dish drainer. Number 10. Degrease the dish rack and the sink caddy. The dish drainer and the little caddy that holds your brushes sit in the wettest, greasiest corner of the kitchen, and they quietly build up a grimy, slimy film and hard water scale you stop even seeing. Nonna dropped them into a basin of hot water with a couple of tablespoons of borax dissolved in it and left them to soak for half an hour. The alkaline lifts the greasy film, and the borax discourages the mold and smell that love that damp corner, so a rinse leaves them fresh instead of slippery. The thing you dry your dishes on finally gets clean itself. And the next one is the pot you had already written off, the burnt-on one. Number 9. Save a scorched, burnt-on pot. You forget a pan on the heat, and the bottom scorches into a hard, black, greasy crust welded to the metal, and it looks like one for the bin. Do not throw it out. A nonna covered the burnt bottom with an inch of water, tipped in a few good spoonfuls of borax, and brought it to a gentle simmer for 10 or 15 minutes. The heat and the alkaline together break the carbonized grease down until it loosens its grip, and it lifts off with a wooden spoon and a little scrub. A rinse with clean water, and the pot lives to cook another 20 years. And the next one saves you ever buying degreaser spray again, your own homemade bottle. Number 8. Mix your own everyday degreaser for pennies. Instead of buying that $10 can of degreaser again and again, a nonna made her own. Into a spray bottle, she put 2 tablespoons of borax and filled it with hot water, shaking it until the powder dissolved. The whole recipe. A quick mist over the cooker, the counters or the tiles, a minute to sit, and a wipe, and it cuts everyday grease as well as anything you can buy. The same alkaline that scrubs the big jobs handles the small daily ones. One cheap box makes bottle after bottle. Just label it clearly and keep it well away from food, because it is a cleaner, not anything to go near a plate. And the next one is a warning worth hearing, the safety rules. Number 7, the safety rules that let you use borax with confidence. This is the honest part, and it matters. Borax is a wonderful old cleaning powder, but it is a cleaner and nothing more. It is not food, it is never to be eaten, and it should never go near anything you are cooking. So wear gloves if your hands are sensitive, and keep the box sealed and out of reach of children and pets. Any surface that touches food, a pan, the sink, a counter, the fridge, always gets a thorough rinse with clean water after, so none is left behind. And never mix borax with vinegar or any acid, which only cancels it out and wastes it. And never, ever with bleach. Treat it as exactly what it is, a cheap, honest cleaning powder. And it is safe and brilliant on nearly every greasy job in the kitchen. And the next one freshens the tubs your leftovers live in, the plastic containers. Number 6. Get the greasy film and stains out of plastic tubs. Plastic containers hold onto a greasy, oily film and the orange stain of yesterday's sauce, and come out of the wash still faintly slick and smelling of last week. A nonna filled them with hot water, added a spoonful of borax, and let them soak for an hour, or overnight for the bad ones. The alkaline lifts the greasy film and the trapped smell out of the plastic, where dish soap just slides over the top. A good rinse with clean water afterward, because they will hold food again, and the tubs come back clear, fresh, and no longer greasy. Far better than binning them and buying more. And the next one shines the big metal fronts, the stainless steel. Number 5. Wipe the grease and prince off stainless steel. The stainless fronts of a fridge or dishwasher show every greasy fingerprint and smudge, and dry wiping only smears them into a cloudy mess. A nonna dampened a soft cloth in a mild borax solution, a spoonful well dissolved in warm water so there is no loose grit, and wiped along the grain, then buffed it dry. The alkaline lifts the grease and prints away, and the fully dissolved borax cleans without scratching the finish. Follow the grain, keep it gentle, and the steel comes up bright and streak-free, like a showroom. And the next one holds a stale, greasy smell no brush can reach, the coffee flask. Number 4. Freshen a greasy coffee pot or a narrow flask. A coffee carafe, a thermos, or a tall bottle builds up a stale, oily film on the inside, right where your hand and no brush can reach. A nonna filled it with hot water, spooned in some borax, capped it or covered it, gave it a good shake, and left it to stand for an hour or overnight. The alkaline solution scours and deodorizes every inside surface on its own, lifting the greasy film and the stale smell without a brush touching it. She rinsed it well with clean water, several times, because tomorrow's coffee goes back in, and it came out fresh as new. And the next one is every greasy little machine on the counter, the small appliances. Number 3, degrease the toaster, the kettle, and the mixer. The small machines out on the counter, the toaster, the kettle, the stand mixer, the bread box, sit in the path of every fry-up and collect a sticky film of grease and dust that dulls them and feels tacky under your hand. Nonna unplugged each one, wrung a cloth out in warm borax solution, and wiped it down, working into the grooves and the base where the grime gathers. The alkaline cuts the greasy dust film away in a pass and leaves the housings clean and matte again, with no streaks. Keep the water to the outside, never near the workings or the plug. And the next one is where you can finally see the difference, the oven door glass. Number 2, see through the oven door again. The glass in the oven door slowly darkens with a brown, baked-on film of grease and smoke until you cannot watch anything cook through it, and it looks burnt in for good. It is not. Nonna spread a thick borax paste straight onto the cool glass, left it to sit for 15 or 20 minutes, then scrubbed it gently with a damp cloth. The alkaline softens the scorched-on grease, and the fine powder lifts it away without scratching or clouding the glass underneath. A wipe, a rinse, and the door is clear again. You can watch your bread rise through it. And now, number 1, the greasiest job in the whole kitchen, and the one that started all of this. Number 1, bring the greasiest oven in the house back to spotless. This is the big one, the job everyone dreads and puts off for a year. The inside of the oven black and blistered with burnt-on grease. The racks caked so thick they have gone crusty and brown. Shop oven cleaner is harsh, choking, fuming stuff, and Nonna never let a can of it in the house. Instead, she mixed borax and a little water into a thick paste, spread it all over the cold oven's floor, walls, and door, and lifted the racks out into the sink to soak in hot water with a good half cup of borax. She left it all overnight. By morning, the alkaline had done the work while she slept, the burnt-on grease wiped away with a damp cloth, and the soaked racks needed only a light scrub for the softened crust to slide off. A thorough rinse with clean water, since food goes back in, and the oven that had looked ruined was bare, black metal and spotless. No fumes, no scrubbing your arm raw, and not 1 cent on a can of degreaser. That is the whole secret of a Nonna's kitchen in a single job. A cheap box of powder, a little patience, and the knowledge that almost nothing greasy is ever truly beyond saving. It is the perfect note to end on. So there they are, 25 things one cheap box of borax does in the kitchen, most of them jobs we paid $10 and $15 a can to do. That was the genius of a Nonna, not a cupboard crammed with a different spray for every mess, but one honest box of powder and the knowledge of where it worked. Learn that, and you will cut through the worst grease in your house for a few cents. Now remember the one thing you must never mix borax with: vinegar, because vinegar has a whole world of cleaning jobs it does better on its own, and every one of them is in the video on your screen. Go and watch that one next. Subscribe, and let's keep bringing back the tricks the world was starting to forget.